Let's return to Acts 23. Paul, before the council, cried out words that divided the council. "Brothers, I am a Pharisee, as were my ancestors, and I'm on trial because of my hope in the resurrection of the dead." Note that no one said, "But who says that Jesus has risen from the dead?" The leaders could produce no proof that Jesus had not risen from the dead, and this fact also refuted the teaching of the sect of the Sadducees, the priestly sect. So the resurrection of Jesus touched a very raw nerve for them. In the night, Jesus came personally to encourage Paul. Acts 23, starting at verse 19. The commander took him by the hand, led him off by himself, and asked him, "What do you have to tell me?" He said, "The Jewish authorities have agreed to ask you tomorrow to take Paul down to the council, pretending that the council wants to get more accurate information about him. But don't listen to them, because there are more than 40 men who will be hiding and waiting for him. They have taken a vow not to eat or drink until they have killed him. They are now ready to do it and are waiting for your decision." The commander said, "Don't tell anyone that you have reported this to me." And he sent the young man away. Then the commander called 2 of his officers and said, "Get 200 soldiers ready to go to Caesarea, together with 70 horsemen and 200 spearmen, and be ready to leave by 9 o'clock tonight. Provide some horses for Paul to ride, and get him safely through to Governor Felix." Then the commander wrote a letter that went like this: "Claudius Lysias, to His Excellency Governor Felix, greetings. The Jews seized this man and were about to kill him. I learned that he is a Roman citizen, so I went with my soldiers and rescued him. I wanted to know what they were accusing him of, so I took him down to their council. I found out that he had not done a thing for which he deserved to die or be put in prison. The accusation against him had to do with questions about their own law. And when I was informed that there was a plot against him, at once I decided to send him to you. I have told his accusers to make their charges against him before you." The soldiers carried out their orders. They got Paul and took him that night as far as Antipatris. The next day the foot soldiers returned to the fort and left the horsemen to go on with him. They took him to Caesarea, delivered the letter to the governor, and turned Paul over to him. The governor read the letter and asked Paul what province he was from. When he found out that he was from Cilicia, he said, "I will hear you when your accusers arrive." Then he gave orders for Paul to be kept under guard in the governor's headquarters. Let's pray together. Our Father and God, help us not to be misled by this world's propaganda. Help us not to be misled because of envy. Lord, Satan's forces want us to envy those who lead wicked lifestyles, people who are praised because they live the good life, possessing everything we think is cool, and who proudly scoff at the idea of there being a God. Then we get bitter, and we wonder if there is any use in obeying you, our God, or in listening to your word. Lord, help us come to our senses. Please help us see the truth instead of being misled by this world. Speak to us through your word and use our fellowship with other followers of Christ to bring us to Asaph's conclusions, which I read now. What else do I have in heaven but you? Since I have you, what else could I want on earth? My mind and my body may grow weak, but you, O God, are my strength, and you are all I ever need. Those who abandon you will certainly perish. You will destroy those who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, how wonderful to be near you, O God, to find protection with you, the sovereign Lord, and to proclaim all that you have done.